Good afternoon, Transportation Committee. My name is Cary Tarasoff. Thank you very much for allowing me to present today. Our bus system has had serious issues for a number of years. Quite a few people that I know no longer ride the bus because they find it unpredictable and it doesn't give them good service. And I wonder why. When I look at other cities, because other cities must have a completely different type of fleet than we have. They must have the latest and greatest of everything for their system to keep working. Because I hear all these excuses how our system is too old and they can't get parts. Everything is just unbelievably hard for us here. So I took a look at it, and it's taken me some time to get this data, and I'm presenting it to you manually as best as I can do. So please consider it. City of Edmonton has, according to publicly released data, 951 buses. Their oldest bus is 2001. Their average of their fleet is 2009. Winnipeg has 685 buses. Their oldest bus is 1995. Their average of their fleet is 2010. Saskatoon has 138 buses. Oldest bus is 1997. The average of our bus fleet is 2011. Regina has 126 buses. Their oldest bus is 2005. The average of the bus fleet is 2012. So we are actually newer than both Edmonton and Winnipeg and only 1 year behind Regina. So enough of this that our buses are too old and that's the problem. If we get all new, everything will be better. It won't be. If you can't plan for maintenance now, you're not going to plan for maintenance properly later. And that's a failure of management. And when that management fails, it's the managers above that who are engineers. And when that fails, it's the top engineer at the city that isn't doing their job. And when that person doesn't do their job, it's incumbent upon you as elected officials to step in and start doing your job. So I implore you to take this seriously and start investing time to get this fixed, because too many people are abandoning the bus system in our city for a good reason. We've been tracking bus activities for a number of months now. Bus alerts for the first few days of the year are very significant because it shows a cold weather snap and it shows how the other cities reacted to that snap. And at times, some cities were colder than us, and yet we'd have 30 routes not being operated, and they would be one delayed bus or one detour out of an entire city, much bigger than ours. Why is that? That is a failure not of the people driving the buses. That is not a failure of the mechanics and the people trying to maintain buses. It's definitely a failure of the people that are in control of the system and the people that are supposed to be charged with overseeing that on top of that. With this many routes being affected when other cities in comparable situations using comparable fleets are not having the problems, there's only one weak link, and that's the people that are operating the system at a high level, the managers. And those people can't operate a basic bus system in our city with comparable buses. They sure can't operate a BRT system for $250 million and hope to get it better. New buses are not the answer. You still have to do maintenance, and if you can't prepare for any of that properly, it won't matter. Here's an animation to show you how many bus routes were affected on any given day and the temperature, January 4th to February 28th. So please watch the days go by. You will note that some days are quite warm, and yet we've had a number of bus outages, and these are at peak periods. So people are sitting waiting for a bus to come that isn't coming, or they say, call us and we'll tell you what buses are affected. How can you operate a system like that? Seriously. People need to get to their jobs. Look how many areas of the city are being affected on random days. How can you plan your day? If you had to do that and you had to get up to one area of the city and this much sporadic interchange of failure is happening, how are you going to know when you're going to be able to get home or get to your job on time or get there at all? I am hopeful that as elected officials that you can push back against an administration that is using nothing but excuses and press releases to cover up poor management. This poor management has gone on for way too long. Our system should be operating at a reasonable level comparable to other cities, and it is not. It has nothing to do anymore with the buses. It has nothing to do with the people that do the work. It's the people that are overseeing that work as managers and the people above that and the highest levels of our management at the city admin. Please get a hold of this. Start getting this fixed. We should be running a good bus system for a year before we even ever consider doing anything more intense like a BRT. So consider that as well before you go to spend another $250 million on a hope that all of a sudden money is going to fix all these problems. Thank you very much.